going on, guys? You're on the sidelines with the Sideline guys. I'm Derrick.
And I'm Chris. Welcome back, everybody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How's everything going, bro?
Great. I can't complain, man. My Ravens stumbled to the finish line, but we got the win. Man, I was driving and I had red zone on, and when your game was going on, and I just gotta say, man, I don't know who predicted that, but that is not what you guys needed coming into this stretch for real.
You know what? Superstitions again.
Hmm.
I shouldn't have predicted the score.
Oh, yeah, it's my fault. I pressured you.
That was horrible, man. Oh
Legit.
my god, that was horrible. Yeah, I didn't even watch that game. I just kind of just like we actually did Thanksgiving Sunday instead of Saturday. Instead of Thursday because my mom worked Thursday night. So um yeah, there was no I didn't watch that game. That was eaten during that time. So
You chose a great time to eat, brother. It was nothing but pain,
yeah,
nothing but
yeah.
pain. Yeah.
Oh, they ruined my dinner. I looked
Hmm.
at the score. I said, "Oh yeah, here we go."
Oh man, legit. And hey, you guys got another good matchup this week. I don't know. I can't count on them to keep on losing.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Don't tell me you're gonna sadness hedge. It
Uh,
might be that time. It might be that time.
yeah, this is it's confusing. It's confusing, man. But yeah, let's get into it, man. We had a very interesting basketball game yesterday with the Suns and the Warriors going up against each other. Did you watch the game?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's get into it. Let's break it down because that was again, this is my Western Conference finals prediction. So this was actually really fun to watch just from that standpoint. Um I still like just even watching that game, I still don't see any other team that's going to be able to get there other than those two teams. Um what were your first initial thoughts on it?
Man, I honestly was surprised towards the end that it was even that close with
Yeah.
the way that the Warriors were playing. So that made me really think that a 7 game series between these two would be so fun, man. I'm
Hmm.
really looking forward to that playing out. Obviously, Warriors still are nowhere near to being peak form as far as injuries and everything. But I thought that game was awesome, man. Steph Curry was struggling, and a lot of guys stepped up in the meantime to really
Yeah.
try to keep him in the game. And it was only really until the end of that fourth quarter where they actually pulled away. But just the whole theater of it too, the Suns getting their 17th straight after starting 1-3, just
Hmm.
powerful. A big game. It really had the playoff feel,
It
especially
did.
defensively.
It did. Yeah. And I honestly I was actually shocked that the game was as close as it was because of the fact that Aiton and McGee were just attacking the paint so much that during that game, it seemed like they could have actually just force fed in the paint and pulled away with it like a lot earlier than they did. But I I know a lot of people are gonna start because I've already seen some people kind of overreacting to Steph's game. Like there's one game now all of a sudden now he's not MVP or he's overhyped or I these are the type of games that really irritate me because of the fact that people just go right into those narratives. Um I'm looking forward to this. 'Cause, I mean they have another game this week. So I mean I'm not expecting Steph to be that bad. I think that was actually the worst game of his career.
That's
So,
crazy. Really, I
which
didn't know that.
I think that's what I read earlier. So I mean, like the thing about it is like like if that's not happening, bro. Like
Mhm.
eh, you still have Clay out there, Wiseman, which I know a lot of people kind of like gave up on him already. Which I don't know how you give up on him in his second year. Um, I- but whatever. I don't know how you do that, but he's coming back, and then Wiggins is not healthy. He's obviously not healthy. So, um, I think as a Western Conference Finals, I think that's gonna go seven.
Yep,
I think that's gonna go
for
7
sure.
for sure. That was a phenomenal game. I really don't think that anybody really lost in this game.
Hmm.
I mean, Devin Booker will be playing this next game, so it's gonna be interesting to see what the dynamic is. But it's masterful. It's great to see Chris Paul out there uh uh playing the way he is. He is a master at what he does. Just a little, hand checks and footwork and stuff like that. I'm the individual matchups. Jordan Poole was phenomenal. I mean, I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was the most threes that he shot in a quarter. I think was the first quarter was the
Hmm.
most threes he's ever shot in his career. Um, or it tied it, I think. I don't think that the Warriors have the issues that they had last year, which was depth. This is going to be interesting to see what they do with this. Um, I can't see them not going to the finals. I honestly can't. I
I
think the only
agree.
team that stands in their way right now is Phoenix. I don't, because you see, like we talked about this before, McGee, if he was that backup option, they you see the difference between him and Frank. Like,
Hmm.
I'm impressed, man. I'm
For
impressed.
sure.
I think this is gonna be a fun matchup over the course of the season. Just seeing how they vie for position,
Hmm.
um, and how this whole thing shakes out.
For
I'm looking
sure.
forward to it. Yeah,
I just want to say real quick, I'm glad that JaVale McGee's finally getting the respect he deserves, man. Everyone
exactly.
always makes him out to be a huge meme,
Yeah,
but he's a productive player no matter where he goes. Gets good rebounds. Everyone has their fair share of plays that you don't want to look back at, but
yeah, yeah,
definitely, I agree. I think that in this matchup, like you mentioned, if they would have exploited the matchup even more, I agree. This one, they should have been able to run away with this one. I
yeah.
felt like at times they were trying to outshoot the Warriors, and literally
Hmm.
Jay Crowder was shooting a lot as well and missing a
Bro.
lot of straight open shots. So it felt like almost like they were trying to make a statement, especially at home, which I understand as well. But I feel like that kept the game a little bit closer.
It
But I
did.
agree, man. Chris Paul closed out the game so well, from facilitating early to then just scoring multiple buckets back to back. I think he had a stretch with 6 points straight in that fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Like you said, man, I think they're going to be battling in any series, and it definitely should go 6 or 7. I think 6 because Warriors are only getting healthier, and I think in this game specifically, people like Juan Toscano Anderson, people like the role players didn't have their best game in this one. There was a lot of times where they were making
yeah.
unnecessary
The
turnovers, and
turnovers they had what, 23 turnovers for the game.
yep, that's way too much. Way too
Way too
much.
much, and the fact that they were even as close as they were, like,
Mhm.
that's just, it
It's
doesn't it
only up
doesn't
from
make
here.
sense. Like, if you're looking at the
Hmm.
stat sheet and you're seeing that many turnovers in a game, it doesn't make sense as to how they've even had the success they've had outside of just being remarkable at shooting. um yeah,
I got a
I
question for you about Steph's performance. Do
was
you think that it was the defense that did it? Because I felt like a lot of these shots, especially in the lane, he was just missing takes that he had that were relatively open.
he hit, there were, I think, 3 air balls that he made that were just wide open routine shots for him. I think defense hadn't had a play because Mikal Bridges played him very well, but he just missed shots. This, which is why I don't see that happening in the next game. Like, you saw every time he went to the bench, that whenever he was pulled out of the game, the Warriors went on a run and pulled it together. Right? That doesn't happen. That's like, when is that ever taking place?
Literally.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's weird to think that they were actually like begging for Steph to be on the court.
Literally, and forcing it. I think he even got
Yeah,
pulled in the fourth,
he did. He
for
did.
like 2 or 3 minutes towards the
Yeah,
end. So
yeah, which he was pissed
crazy.
by. But I mean, when you don't have a hot hand, you don't have a hot hand. It doesn't matter who you are. Like,
I
Jordan
think shooters
Poole.
like him, exactly. He was going off literally in that first half. I thought he was gonna go for at least 30.
I
Like
thought
he
so
was
too.
going off. Yeah,
Yeah, it was. I mean, it could have happened.
yeah,
I think when you talk about like different role players like Toscano, I don't I know he was complaining about his play time earlier this season, but I
not
can't.
justified.
It's not when you're out there and you're making that many. Like I think he had like I think it was like 4 turnovers within like 5 minutes or something like that.
Hmm.
That that doesn't get you playtime. That nails you to the bench. Like you're like that's it. So I mean, this is the time to prove that right now with Clay still working his way back. I mean, I know they're saying that he's targeting the Christmas game, or he might be before the Christmas game, or maybe a little after. I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. I think it would be smarter to just wait till top of the year,
Hmm.
let him get into rhythm, and play a couple of games of the G League, see how everything goes. Like I don't see anything wrong with that. I know he's itching to get back because he hasn't been playing for what he hadn't played in like 2 years, right? So
Hmm.
like I get it, but it would almost make more sense to just let him, you know, gradually get back into his play, and still allow other guys on the bench to get more play time, because when it's time for playoffs, that rotation deepens, and you want to be one of those guys that are playing. But I mean, I'm sorry, the rotation shortens, so you want to be one of those guys that's there.
Hmm.
Toscano right now is on the outside looking in. There is no way if the playoffs started today that he'd be in the rotation, unless barring
Especially
injury.
with the spark that Gary Payton the second
Oh,
has been giving him.
Gary Payton, bro.
Everyone, I was like, put back in the glove, please.
He,
We need the glove, the glove junior.
he's crazy good, man. I mean,
Hmm.
he has hops. He's got range. I like him. I like him. I like what Golden State is doing. I think it's um definitely interesting to see how they play, especially with the smaller lineups. But that's why I don't see how it could be wrong or a bad idea to keep Wiseman. I know I've heard some Warriors fans that wanted to trade him. I don't for what? For what?
Literally.
Like what who are you trading him for?
I think a sneaky good one would be to the Sixers, try to get a package for Drummond. I think that could be a good move.
That would be
But
interesting.
even then, you're still kind of forfeiting the long-term play. And I think he
Yeah.
is so young. He's younger
He
than me,
fits
man.
in. Yeah, he
So
fits
yeah,
right in.
and
Like,
100% he has that time to grow. I remember I told you earlier, I think it was a couple weeks ago, there was some stats comparing his to Chris Bosh's early on stats, and they
mm-hmm.
were almost identical.
Yeah,
So you just got to give him his playing time. I agree. Assign him, assign Clay, let them get their time to ease their way
yeah,
back in, so
yeah.
that you don't want re-injuries,
No.
especially with the high hopes you have. You want to let everything smooth its way in at the proper time for sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they have nowhere to go but up. And
Hmm.
and I think a lot of people that doubted the Warriors last year and in the offseason, um, and offseason prior to last year, honestly, it was a lot of people just like, happy for the downfall almost, or like saying that there was a change of guard. It wasn't. It wasn't. I like that's the scary part, because they could, like, the way that they're positioning themselves, they could realistically go on another run for another like 5 years.
Literally. Wait till Kaminga gets in stride.
That's
That
what I'm
guy is a
saying. That's,
beast.
bro, like
Literally.
I just don't see how anybody can feel anything outside other than excitement, because this is just great
Literally.
for basketball. It's great for
100%.
basketball. So we'll see. But they're gonna be running the West. Like,
I think it's crazy that we're talking this way, considering that the Suns won the game. You know what I mean? We got to give us
that
some props too, but
well, see, that's the
I
thing.
agree.
Like, and that's why, like, when we did our first NBA episode, I said I automatically just put them. I wrote the Suns into the finals out of respect, but
felt like a
Yeah,
perfect storm. It felt like a perfect
yeah,
storm. And that's
yeah.
so strange considering they ended up winning by almost 8 points. I think it was 8 points deficit at the end.
Hmm.
Is they it was a sizable margin, but yet and still we're like, well, if a couple things play out the way you think they should,
Yeah,
this game it probably would be a blowout for the Warriors, which is crazy to think about. So
with all the turnovers.
literally,
That's
literally.
weird. That's weird. So I think this is gonna. I think both teams have a great future. I I know Stephen A. Smith said sometime this week that the Suns championship window has closed, which is absolutely, that's probably one of the dumbest things that I've heard in a while. It has not closed. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think one of his reasonings for saying that was, Chris Paul's age. But you cannot deny how efficient Devin Booker is. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? It's
And when you have that pair with the guy like Chris Paul, that is the model of efficiency,
oh,
yeah,
it's
the offense runs
only,
itself.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they have great depth, great coaching. I don't see anything really sidelining them. Like they're gonna do their thing. It's
For
just
sure.
it's these are the two teams that are gonna be battling in the West. I think, to me at least, for the next couple of years, I don't see anyone else in the West doing anything like that.
For sure.
And I know people think that's sacrilegious because LeBron is out there, but
Literally.
nah.
So I got a question for you, man.
What's up?
This Phoenix Suns team is now tied for 10th all-time consecutive wins in the NBA. The
Hmm.
highest number obviously is 33, set by the Lakers. I
Hmm.
don't think we're getting nowhere near that.
No.
But where do you think this ends? Do you think they continue this level of play and end up somewhere within the 20 loss range by the end of the season?
Let's see. Are you, well, first, are you asking like how long the streak can go?
Yeah, how long they could keep it up and whether or not you think at some point it's going to turn around for the worse for them.
I
Because I
don't
think
think
this is sustainable.
it's sustainable. I don't think it's going to turn to the worst for them. I think that they're just going to be, you're not winning every game. Obviously, they're not going to go undefeated. I mean, well, they can't.
They already lost,
They
yeah.
lost 3 games, so, but they're not winning out the rest of the season.
Yeah.
I somewhat think it's very possible they could lose this game to Golden State.
Mhm.
Um, Mainly just because I know Steph ain't playing like that again.
And is it at the Oracle or is it
It's at
back in
it's
Phoenix?
yeah, it's
Is
in
it the Chase
San
Center now?
Francisco. Yeah,
Okay.
San Francisco. Yeah, 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 Chase Center. It, which is still weird to say that.
Hmm. I
But
caught it early. My bad.
yeah, but no, and that's why I'm still kind of confused why they called Golden State Warriors.
Literally. You're not.
But whatever. Maybe it's just a bridge. Maybe that's what it is.
Hmm.
I think they could drop this one. Okay, but I don't even think it matters. To me, the streak thing doesn't matter. I know it's one of those things where it's like it's good for morale and confidence boost and all that stuff. But I personally don't think that kind of streak really matters.
Yeah. Especially
It's
when
not
there's
it's not
games in there
indicative
that
of
were
a
super
championship.
close against teams that
Yeah,
aren't good. Yeah.
yeah. And yeah, that this whole streak they've played two teams that were probably really good. Everyone else was So I really don't. I don't think it's indicative of anything. I think it's a nice talking point. I think that it's a nice thing to have, you know. But it's not something that they're gonna do like that. I don't. I mean, if they win this game though against Golden State, who knows? I think it go for that. They could beat the record. They
Hmm.
could, but I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely don't think they're winning it either, but I think they could get somewhere in the 25, 23 range.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I agree, man. For some reason, even though we've been giving the Warriors all the praise, I just feel like Phoenix is bound to win this one. I feel like at this point, every team ends up in some sort of slump. And right now, obviously, they're trending in two different ways.
Yeah.
Let's hope both Devin Booker and Steph Curry are healthy and it isn't nothing else nagging injury wise. But yeah, I got a feeling that the Phoenix Suns are going to win this one and then a couple more after. So we'll see.
Yeah, let me see. I'm trying to see what the games they have on their schedule are
Hmm.
because to me I think it is possible. I think it is possible. So
Detroit tomorrow.
you have Detroit, you got Warriors, got Spurs, Celtics, Clippers, Blazers, Wizards, Hornets, Lakers. Realistically, well, we already know they're beating the Pistons, so they're gonna be
Yeah,
that'll be what 18 straight for them. Um, if they get past the Warriors, it's very possible they it's possible they could win out December too.
which would be fire.
It's
Yeah.
possible. Yeah, because you have Pistons, Warriors, Spurs, Celtics, Clippers, Blazers, Wizards, Hornets, Lakers, Thunder, Warriors, Grizzlies, Thunder, Celtics.
Hmm. Couple of tough games for sure.
So they have
And you
tough
can't count
games.
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't see them winning every game against the Warriors.
Yeah, I agree.
I just don't see that. So
For
that
sure. And there's
if
some hungry teams in the West too that have been slumping, that are getting their guys back. So
yeah, Clippers
we'll see.
Clippers look good. Um,
Hopefully Celtics can wake up a little bit.
I'm not worried about the Celtics, honestly. I know people think that
East is looking good.
East
I
is
don't
looking
know.
good, but I'm not worried about the Celtics. I think they have some stuff they need to address, but that's like X's and O's type of thing. You have
Mhm.
some guys that you need to get back. Um, if I'm not sure if Shooter is playing tonight or not, but those things they'll work themselves out. I'm not worried about them. Um, so yeah, I mean, if they beat the Warriors though, they could realistically win December out, unless until it's the Christmas game. Christmas game, I think Warriors will win that. If they lose this game to the Suns this week, they'll win out the Christmas one.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You need it. You need
you
it
need
for
that. Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Because I'm saying right now, if Golden State loses all three games to Phoenix,
You change your pick
that's
back?
no. No, I'm not doing that. But I would start, I will start believing that it's very possible they will win it.
For sure.
Get to the finals again. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with the league. I mean, you have. I want to know your opinion on this though, because we 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 saw this week that the Knicks, who in the off season, all their fans and you being in New York, I'm sure you heard about it. We're just so excited about getting Kemba Walker and Fournier onto the team, and then we come to find out Kemba Walker is out of rotation. Do you think that's fair?
I mean, you have to look at the play. And at the
Yeah,
end of the day, just the way Alec Burks played against the Nets, it is justified just from that game. I've
yeah.
always loved Alec Burks. I think he should have been getting more minutes from the get go. I
Hmm.
think this is something that you actually predicted early on when we were talking about this, and I couldn't imagine that it would be this bad.
Yeah,
But yeah, everyone was so happy for the homecoming. I'm not gonna lie, I was too. Like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
such a great dope storyline.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a health thing. And at the end of the day, the fact that you look across that bench and Derrick Rose is right there and
Hmm.
still doing what he has to do for the team, really calls into question whether or not he was rushed back, whether or not if this is something that can be fixed. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I don't think any team would want to trade for him. So I don't know where he
The
goes from
Lakers
here.
would.
Oh man.
The
Don't
Lakers
don't do
that
it.
this
Don't do
this
it to
has the
him.
Lakers written all over it. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't even think that this is a health thing for Kimba. To be completely honest, it's a schematic thing. So Thibodeau is a defensive minded coach, right? If you're not out there playing defense, like the only thing you're really doing is taking charges defensively, that's the only thing you're doing. I think even with Kemba playing defense, the ceiling for the Knicks this year is maybe 40 games. Maybe. Like this is not, and this is why I was kind of confused as to how everybody was just looking at the Knicks like oh, they're gonna be like this great team. They are a good team, but they're not all that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that again, I don't know that this was a health thing. I think this is mainly just because it's the type of coach that Thibodeau is. And if you're not out there playing defense, you're not out there.
Mm-hmm.
You're
But
just not
my
out
thing
there
is,
for his teams.
even on the offensive end though, like that's what you were mainly expected to be coming in for. That
Right,
spark
right,
specifically.
right.
Because I feel like between the bond he has with Derrick Rose, I feel like that's kind of covered already.
Mm-hmm,
Even on the offensive end, I feel like he hasn't had that same explosion.
mm-hmm.
Obviously the shot falls when the shot falls, but I agree. It's crazy that he's literally being put out. It makes sense though, like you said, for those reasons. But even on the Lakers, like I don't think he's gonna be
Oh no, no.
anywhere near back to peak form, you know?
No, no, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I
Hmm.
don't think that it makes sense for him to go to the Lakers. But for the Lakers,
They would
they would
catch
do
that
something
real
like
quick.
that. They will do something like that. Like you passed up Caruso, moved on from Schroeder, two guards that played like exceedingly well for you last year. Um, and you're trusting who right now?
And it's not like those guys got paid.
They they
It's
were
crazy.
that's the what they got paid, they could have easily made in LA. Easily. Especially Caruso. Caruso was willing to take a pay cut. So I don't know what LA was doing. But if if uh if the Knicks wanted to move on from it, I know there was something about there was some rumors that the Knicks and Houston would be interested in a Walker trade. I don't know why. It's not like John Wall goes to the Knicks and makes them this great team.
Significantly better.
I
Yeah.
like so like I mean to me it's like almost like a lateral move.
Hmm.
It's two guys with knee issues.
Yep. One that
So
hasn't even been playing.
yeah, and one hasn't played in what a year and a half, 2 years.
Yep. Yep.
So what are we actually talking about here?
Literally. And
Like
that's my thing though. I feel like all these trade packages only are at this level because of the way he's been playing. Like
yeah,
especially off. That's why I don't know. I feel like personally, he may have tried to rush it too quick. I mean, knee injuries have been historically something that takes way longer than a lot of athletes have been coming back lately.
bro.
And I
I
feel like
mean,
for the most part, I don't know. Sometimes these stories don't pan out the way they should be as far as recovery.
look what he did last year. He
Yeah,
he
struggling.
he he was not even just struggled. He couldn't even get into rhythm because he was missing games because they were sitting him out. They didn't play him. He didn't play any back to backs last year. Um, or if he did, it was like far and few between. Um, and aside from the back to backs, there were games they just that Boston sat him out. So I don't know, like, and that whole thing didn't even pan out to be a successful plan because going to the playoffs and he's not available. The whole point of doing that schedule was so that he could be available for the playoffs. He's not available for you. So, um, you know, I think it's I think it's very interesting
Mhm.
that um both Boston and Oklahoma come out on top of this trade. You know what I'm saying? Boston got Al Horford back from Oklahoma City, and Oklahoma traded Kemba to New York, right?
Mhm.
So
I always felt there was no way we lose that one. I'm just saying, like you said, Al Horford was doing a little too good for what we wanted this season. I'm
You
just
did,
saying.
yeah. Y'all didn't want him there because it was just
Mhm.
like, oh no, man, no. You're too good. Sit down, sit down.
At one point, he was hovering a double, which I was
Yeah,
like super impressed by. But I agree, man. Everyone else won out but the Knicks. I feel like this is just a common theme.
it
Um,
is.
I'm tired of them making these same risque moves, like you said. This feels like a something that the Lakers would be all over too. I just feel like do things the right way and you'll get rewarded for it. I feel like in a way, this is one of those moments where you feel like the basketball gods kind of tampered with this one a little bit.
Yeah, I don't. To be honest, the Knicks just all they have to do just keep steady. I mean, with the plan that you have in place, I think it's smart putting Kemba out of the rotation
Hmm.
schematically. Um, but I don't like that it happened to him because Kimba is really a great guy.
For sure.
Well, great guy. Aside from just his issues on the court, um, where he's deficient on offense, like he at least stays vocal and engages with the team to help coach a team or
Mhm.
whatever. So I can appreciate that. Um, but when you're talking about X's and O's, if you're just not producing, you're not producing. And I don't know what happens to him from now, like from here on. I don't know what's going to end up happening. But it almost feels um inevitable that he's about to go to
Mhm.
LA. It
It's so
almost
funny.
feels inevitable. And
The graveyard,
yeah,
scrap heap.
yeah.
Hmm.
It feels inevitable and I hate that because I don't want that for him. Um, I hate seeing former Celtics and Lakers uniforms anyway, just on a personal level. But honestly, even from just being like objective, looking at it from an objective basketball point, I don't see I don't see it really happening.
Hmm.
Let me just put it like this: I see it happening, but I don't see it being a successful move
For sure.
because you already have so many guys on that team that deal with a litany of injuries. You know what I'm saying? I don't see how it's going to be something that they look at. I mean, you look at it from from a name standpoint, cool. You look at it from like a 2K standpoint, cool. But realistically, this is not going to work. It's not going to work. And
And
I
the
think
sad part
Rob Palinka's
is,
all over it.
literally, and the sad part about it is like with any other team, I don't really see it working either. I don't see
No.
any team wanting to take on his contract
Mm-mm.
on top of everything else. So it's just like you said, it's a sad situation. But I also feel like the same way you said it's inevitable that he ends up in the Lakers. I feel like for guys like him, where you're a spark plug, but also you're known for being that dog, like attitude wise, like you're known for
Mm-hmm.
being that guy. I feel like towards the twilight of these guys' careers, you see that fall off, and a big part of it is because you're so reliant on being that athletically and having that spark. And
But
then towards the end of the career, once those injuries start piling up, it's just
yeah,
hard to continue with that kind of game, especially for a smaller guard like him.
yeah, but see that's the weird part, just to like think that this is possibly like the end of his career, or we're getting close to it.
Hmm.
Because what we're talking about 3 years ago,
Max money. Yeah,
I I, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I want to see something great happen for him. I want to see something great happen for Isaiah Thomas, who is still trying to get back into the league. Um, I just I want to see something great happen for Jamal Crawford, whether he decides to come back or not. Um,
LA.
but it's just weird because you think about it, like he's not Walker's not playing. I don't think Blake Griffin is playing right now. It's weird when you like think back to where these guys were already. Like,
Literally. The weirdest part is out of all these names, the fact that Aldridge is still playing.
bro,
It blows my mind,
retired
literally.
and came back
With heart
with
issues like
heart
that's
issues.
next level. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I
Crazy.
don't know. I don't know. We'll see, but I hope nothing but the best for him.
For
Honestly.
sure.
You know,
Yeah, it's not to kick him while he's down, but you just like you
nah,
said, it's a basketball move, and
yeah,
you
yeah,
gotta take it that way. I agree with you. I think long term though, even after this season and moving forward, he'll end up somewhere for the next 3-4 years.
yeah.
But as far as being a productive player, I think those times are gone.
Well, see, that's the thing. You got to also like see. We thought this with Derrick Rose, right? Like
And he
end
was
of his
able to bounce
career,
back. You know?
but he evolved his game, right? Like
Mhm.
he wasn't relying on his athleticism anymore. He's trying to figure out how he could approach the game and be productive without athleticism, and he figured it out. If Kimba can do a similar thing to that, which is a good thing that he's right by Rose, to try and work. He can work with him and see if something builds off of that. But realistically, what how what does sitting him, like putting him out of the rotation, what does that do to make you a better team?
I
You see what
mean,
I'm
if
saying?
you feel like he's doing that bad on the court, that's the reason, 100%. But I agree. I feel like to a certain, like, especially because coming in, the reason why the fit was so good was obviously the stories there, but it felt
Mm-hmm.
like having working with Tibbs at this stage of his career is what he needed. And
I
I
didn't
agree.
think
I feel
so.
like
I didn't
I
think
did.
so.
I did.
Not for his body, because of the
Yeah,
fact that Tibbs make like is such a defensive minded coach, and he runs his guys like Kimba. Kimba can't keep that pace. Like
for sure.
I saw that the last 2 years he wasn't like it wasn't happening for him, and that's what scared me about him going to the New York to the Knicks. But I,
I always thought he was going to be on the nursing schedule anyway. So for me, when he came out hot and he was playing a lot of games, I was surprised by that.
mhm,
I think I agree. Putting him out of the rotation, I feel like is more of a like message to him, and I think that's messed up because
yeah,
at the end of the day, you guys obviously made the move because you wanted him. So
hmm
I agree. I think it may be sort of a messaging thing and trying to get certain things out of him. I don't know if behind the scenes in practice, who knows?
hmm
But I think at the end of the day, it's just so crazy that it went like this when you consider the fit felt good coming in on both sides, in my opinion. And
yeah,
now the fact that he fell out of the rotation it makes you question, where can he succeed? It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, maybe it seemed like Indiana, but
Hmm.
I don't wish anything like that on him.
For sure.
Why I
I
don't
like
want to see
Dorte
him.
though. I like Dorte.
Yeah, yeah,
He's looking good.
yeah. But I mean, that's also why I don't want to see the Houston trade.
Hmm.
I do not want to see him get traded to Houston. Houston is this. I don't know what Eric Gordon did to still be there, but like he pissed someone off, man. He
Yeah,
pissed someone
literally.
off. They made sure he stayed there and suffered. I don't want to see that for Kimba,
I agree.
because he deserves, with what he's put into the game, like he deserves to have a shot at going deep into the playoffs and possibly winning a championship. He deserves that opportunity, which his best chance was when he was in Boston. So I don't see how, and it didn't work there for a number of reasons, but it didn't work there, So yeah, I don't know where you go from here, because I can't think of any team that would actually need him right now.
Exactly. Teams like Denver, teams like Phoenix, there's no reason. Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
reason.
yeah,
Tough.
yeah, yeah, man. We'll see, but let's go ahead and get into our picks, man. How we do last week?
Yes, sir. So I got to give you the good with the bad. I'm going to start with the bad so that maybe we feel a little bit better about ourselves after. Okay. Last week picks were rough for both of us, but
Yeah,
this is 3 weeks in a row now. I find this hilarious.
yeah.
That you and I have the same exact record, even though we picked different teams for a
Oh,
bunch of
word.
these. We both went 7-8.
Okay,
Not
all
a
right.
good week at all.
That's a
Um,
Cowboys record.
yeah, for sure.
I gotta take a
For
shot somehow, some way.
I mean, I'm still mad about that because I was so close to getting you on that pick, and then you talked yourself out of it. I'm like, damn, and it definitely cashed. So that was hilarious.
Hmm
But the thing that I'm excited about, I honestly was blown away when I looked into this. I looked at both CBS and NBC's NFL expert picks,
Okay.
And when you factor us into that, there's 15 of us that are making these picks. Okay,
Okay.
you, sir, are ranked third, tied for third with 112 wins. And let me get the number. Sorry, 66 losses.
Wow.
I would be in the sole possession of fifth place with 110 wins and
Wow.
68 losses. Obviously, the ties are in there,
Okay.
but we are doing our thing, brother. I mean, we're up here
Hey.
at the top of ESPN, top of CBS. CBS wasn't even on the leaderboard. They were gone. They were way down low.
Hey, man, that's how OTS does.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No reason to expect any less. And the fact that we've been stuck where I'm 2 points behind you for three
Yeah.
weeks now is kind of crazy, man.
That's dope, man. That's dope. That's
Yes,
wild,
sir.
but that's dope.
Legit. Yeah, it's gonna be a tight one for the rest of the
Yeah.
season for sure, man, for sure. But
Wait, who's first and second? Because I kind of want to know who.
I'll tell you right now. First is they're sitting at 118 and 61. That is his last name is Bowen.
Okay. Okay.
And second is 116. And it's a her last name is Rutledge.
Okay. Okay. And you said I'm at 112.
Yep.
All right.
Big things, brother. Tie for
Hey,
third.
man.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
That's not bad at all.
Both of us top five though amongst these
That's not
experts. I
bad at
mean,
all,
trust
bro.
it. You got to trust it. You got to start
Yeah.
tailing us, man. We're doing
Yeah.
our thing here for sure.
Yes,
So
sir.
let me for some reason I just got kicked out of my picks doc. I don't know what's happening right now. Oh, it
Okay.
signed me out of my email. So give me 1 second while I pull up the schedule, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, while you doing that, what was one of the games that kind of surprised you last week?
Oh man, this one broke both of us. And in hindsight, I feel like this was something that we should have saw coming. And I'm not gonna do it to you. I know you're thinking it's the Eagles. I'm not. We could get to that later. I
Oh, we
thought the
will.
one that really broke us up was picking the Jags over the Falcons. I don't know how we didn't see that one coming. I think Falcons have been literally struggling against worst teams in my opinion,
That's
and
why. That's
they were
why.
able to do their thing. Crazy enough, Russell Gage decided to show up.
That's why, because Atlanta
Literally.
is being Atlanta, like yeah, that was a blowout though. That was bad. That was a bad game.
And I was super shocked by that one. There was a couple. I mean, we could talk about the Eagles Giants one real quick. I don't think anybody was betting on the Giants, not even them.
They weren't. They weren't. No one saw that coming. That was just a bad game. That was just a
Mhm.
bad game, and it sucks because I hate it for Jalen Hurts because of the fact that this is coming off of a month where everyone was praising him and saying, "Oh yeah, we don't need to go get Russell Wilson." Then he has a bad game. Now you got people coming out saying, "Oh, like panics, like oh we might need to go ahead." Nah. Just he's been playing better than Russell Wilson the last couple of weeks. That's all I know.
For sure. Literally, for sure. So
So
there's two more of these games that I want to touch on that are crazy to me. And
yeah,
one of them you got right. So I'm gonna leave that one to last.
okay,
Both of these we messed up on though.
okay,
Chargers Broncos. I did not
yeah,
expect the Broncos to do their thing. I mean, given they
no,
were at home, but especially the way the scores ended up at the end, I was super surprised by this one.
yeah. What was that score again?
I got you right now. I gotta be quicker than this, man. You can put me on the spot here.
Yeah, because that
Um,
that was a shocker, honestly.
28-13 for the Broncos.
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming, bro.
Especially the way Eckler's been playing. He's been
Yeah,
balling out. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, the Chargers have been humming, so
Mhm.
for that to happen was just kind of weird.
Yeah. It seems like they're definitely on a stretch. And I think another good sneaky team that's doing their thing right now
Yeah,
are the Miami Dolphins, man. The Miami
yeah,
Dolphins did their
yeah.
thing this week.
They did.
And I think offensively they're kind of coming together. They're kind of coming together. I'm surprised by that. While
Yeah.
just I'm gonna say it again.
Go ahead.
Cam is struggling, bro.
Cam is struggling.
He has the touchdowns, but besides touchdowns, numbers wise, it is not looking good.
Let me ask you this, because I'm starting to kind of like see like a common theme right now. Obviously, McCaffrey's out for the rest of the season. Okay.
R.I.P. to my fantasy team.
Yeah, one of mine too. Um, is it possible that with him struggling to stay healthy this year, uh, seeing Sam Darnold's demise, and then how Cam came in and it's not too far off from how Sam was playing. Uh, do you think that that's there's any correlation to that? Because to me, one of the biggest strengths for Carolina was McCaffrey's ability to block, and when he was missing, like it seemed like the offensive line just could not hold up. Do
I
you think
agree.
there's a correlation to that?
I do. And funny enough, I think even if you look at Sam Darnold's numbers,
Mm-hmm.
there's a correlation to that too in the games that McCaffrey played. Obviously, early on the season, I was touting it. He was
Yeah,
leading the league in rushing touchdowns.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But obviously, once things started falling apart injury wise, it just made it even worse and forced a more pass heavy game. And you
Yes.
see that now, even with Cam. I think the fact that their defensive line is so good, yet their
Mm,
offensive line is struggling.
mm-hmm.
Maybe they might want to make some sort of move in the offseason where they're trading a little bit of that depth and trying to get something for that offensive line. Because I agree. I think no matter who's back there right now, even if you got a top 10 QB, they're going to be struggling.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I also for some reason still feel like they're poised to run the ball well. Um, but I don't know. I relatively well for the Panthers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, I don't, I don't see them doing much without McCaffrey, and it's weird, but this is what 2 years in a row where he's been shaky health wise. I mean, when he's out there, he's out there, but when he's not out there, they are not good. And I don't know, like it's premature to say you need to move on from him, right? However, I don't think it'd be a bad idea to find his Tony Pollard.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like kind of like save him up a little bit, let split the reps or something like that. Because if you keep running him like this, there's not gonna be and Chuba Hubbard could possibly be that guy that you're looking at that could fill that position as Tony Pollard. But if you're not going to do the split reps, I mean, when Hubbard is out there and he's the guy, I mean, he's playing very well. But if you're not splitting the reps with McCaffrey being healthy, if you're not splitting the reps with Hubbard, I like it's a moot
Feels
point.
bound to happen. Feels
Yeah,
bound to repeat itself. Yeah.
yeah, it's a vicious cycle. So I think they should actually look into that, honestly, because the Eagles are actually doing something similar with that too.
Hmm.
With Jordan Howard. Jordan Howard is looked at kind of like that guy now. I think they're viewing him that way because you've seen when Sanders is out there by himself and taking the bulk share of the load, bulk yeah share. I'm sorry, Jesus.
You're
He's
good.
he's taking he's the primary back, right? um when he's the primary back, it seems to be an inconsistency with runs because of the fact, or with play calling because of the fact that he can do some things, but he can't be out there all the time. And if you're not going to rely on a second back, like I mean, Kenneth Gainwell is really good, but he's a rookie, right? And he doesn't have the same power that Jordan Howard does. So if you have, it's almost like I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing that evolution in the running back position where you're looking at two backs instead of just one
Exactly. By committee. And I
by
think that
committee.
used to be a sort of a vaunted phrase. Nobody wanted to hear
Yeah,
that. Like
yeah, yeah.
nobody want, and it's not the sexy thing. Obviously, you want to have the dominant back that's in
Right.
the conversation for rushing for the year. But at the end of the day, like it's so hard to find that in the league today, especially
Yeah,
on top of getting the pieces around that back as far as having a good offensive line.
yeah.
It even took the Colts a little while to get it together this season.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now obviously he's running away with it, Jonathan Taylor, that is. But I agree. I think moving forward, and I think Eagles are interesting in this conversation because they also have Byron Scott. So it's not even just a
Yeah, yeah,
three-man back committee; it's a
yeah,
four-man. And I
yeah.
think when you have a level back
Mm-hmm,
that is past their fifth year, I
mm-hmm.
think that should be the plan regardless.
It
I think
should be.
because it also just makes everybody on the team better. If you're getting more
Yeah.
reps as the second string RB, you're going to be in a better position for success down the line.
Look
So
what Arizona's doing. You have Kenny and Drake
exactly,
and James Conner. You know, like it seems to just be a successful um perspective to have where you're
yeah,
not just looking at one guy. Because when you rely on one guy and then that guy goes down, it seems like everything starts to crumble. And
for sure.
I think that if Carolina really wants to take that next step, if they want to get back into that position of relevancy, that would be where you look at either going to get someone else or you just commit to both McCaffrey and Hubbard as the two guys you work with and just build that offensive line because like you said, that defensive line really good. That secondary when they're healthy, they're really good. Um so your only problem right now is your offensive line and you're looking this bad.
Yeah,
You see what I'm
it
saying?
doesn't add
Like
up. Yeah,
it doesn't add up. So I think if you're able to commit to that two back format and just go ahead you know when you have the receivers there,
yeah, literally. And I'm glad that you mentioned Arizona because literally that is the steal of the off season, if you ask me. What was it?
bro.
Almost under 2 mil or something like that.
With James
Insane.
Conner,
Yep.
yeah, yeah,
Insane.
yeah,
I think, like you said, moving forward, I would encourage any team really. My Ravens do it too. Just
yeah,
get as
yeah,
many good backs as you can, and
yeah.
even if they're not, so for example, this is another team we're going to talk about in a second. The Vikings. They have
Mm-hmm,
two great backs as well, but I feel
mm-hmm.
like they don't do that running back by committee thing as
Right,
much as they should.
as
I
much as
think
they should,
even
yeah.
when Cook is healthy, you should be running Madison with regularity because he
Yes,
has that bounce out potential.
yes.
Um, I don't know, man. I think this is the way to go in a league where these quarterbacks are being protected like crazy. They don't
Mm-hmm.
care about their running backs at all.
Yeah,
You're the
yeah,
one taking the brunt of all the hits, if anything.
yes,
So
yeah.
anything you could do to keep your guys healthy would be beneficial for sure.
Yeah, you look you make sure running backs 1A, 1B, and then you have two. So you have your three running backs that you can run with, and just make sure you have 1A, 1B, and your number two. And just work it out from that way. It makes and you know what's so intriguing when you have that kind of setup with a quarterback that can run. So your Lamar Jacksons of the world, your Jalen Hurts of the world, even Cam Newton.
Cam Newton. Yeah, I was
I
gonna say, yeah.
mean, like if when you have running backs paired with quarterbacks like that, come on, come on. I mean, and that's where we're moving into. If we're gonna evolve the league into that style of play, it makes sense to just build it the right way. You know, make sure you
Exactly.
have your quarterback that can run and throw. You have your two running backs that you can rely on. You're not just relying on one guy to be the power. And I mean, build around it. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. I
Exactly.
mean, think about what Pittsburgh would have looked like had they have kept James Conner and Le'Veon Bell. Like it's almost like when Le'Veon Bell went out and you saw the emergence of Connor. It's like, oh, Bell, you can go. No,
Yeah.
no. Like had they just kept those guys, and even with Le'Veon gone, if you had kept Connor and Najee Harris together,
That's one of the best 1-2 punches, even better than what Arizona has. Yep.
bro, like what the hell?
Literally, literally.
What the
And
hell?
and for the price tag that he signed for, you could have found that money
The price
100%. And
that
they were
price tag
trying
and the rookie deal.
literally, and they were trying so hard to get their offensive line fixed, and they didn't.
Yeah,
So
like
what was the point of
Villanueva
spending all
is
that
going
money? Yep.
to Baltimore,
Hmm.
so they technically got worse.
Literally,
So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, but that would be the route to go, in my opinion.
for
But
sure. They missed out, and Arizona's catching the dubs because of it. Real quick, I wanted to talk about that Vikings Niners game,
mhm.
dude. I think I need to look back. Honestly,
Yeah.
I need to look back. I feel like I've been the most wrong in games that include the 49ers. Like, I do not know how to judge this team, man.
They are
Every time
hard.
I think they're done, they have
Yeah.
an explosive game where
Yeah.
Elijah Mitchell's going off.
Yeah.
He's on my fantasy team, so I was hype about it. But dude, like, I really thought the Vikings were, and they're still trending upwards.
They
And
are.
the fact that they caught them at this time where they were
Mm.
looking great and was able to come out with the win, I was super shocked by that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You weren't
Yeah.
though. You called it. You called it.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, look, I think San Francisco has a bright future. They just have to get healthy.
Mhm.
I think that's mainly their. I mean, you can make a couple more moves, but they really just need to get healthy and stay healthy. And are you moving forward with Garoppolo?
Yeah, and I feel like they want to so bad.
They
I don't know
want
what
to,
they're
but
seeing behind the scenes. I don't know
I, they want to, but like
why.
why?
Just why? Yeah,
What is the point? What's the purpose?
because they have one of the better offensive lines. You might as well unleash the running
Yeah,
quarterback. Yeah,
yeah. I don't know, but I think San Francisco has a bright future. It's just
for
about
sure.
seeing how they move forward.
I don't think they make the playoffs this season. I'll
No.
be really surprised if they end up turning it around to that level.
Yeah.
But man, I was really considering the Kirk Cousins MVP angle. Like, I was really watching it. I was like, they have a schedule where this could play out. And
I
yeah, it
think you
doesn't look.
mentioned that
He's
last
still
week.
playing good though. He's still playing
Yeah.
good, but
Yeah.
I don't think we're headed in that direction as far as playoffs. But
Yeah.
time will tell. So
Most
you want to
definitely.
get into these picks, my brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's get into it.
Yes, sir. So I mean, just how you love to start off the week on a Thursday, a short week.
Yeah.
We have Cowboys at the Saints. This is another team that has been up and down.
Hmm.
Like any stock I decide to invest in, just up and down. Um, I think I was hyping them up going into the game. I think they look obviously horrible against the Bills,
Hmm.
and not too much better against you guys. Um, how do you feel like this one plays out? Because even though the Cowboys are still injury ridden, I believe our Amari Cooper is back, and they didn't look too bad against the Raiders. They made it closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah. So Cooper Cooper is back, but to be honest, I don't expect a big game from him.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
and I don't know if did they say that he had that he was asymptomatic, or like he actually experienced symptoms.
I believe asymptomatic.
Asymptomatic. Okay. So if he was asymptomatic, then maybe, but I just know coming back from COVID, there's like a lot of guys don't play well like right away. You got to build that endurance back up. So um this is gonna be a weird game. This is gonna be a very weird game because I think Taysom Hill is starting.
Yep, they got all the first team reps this week. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't know what to think about it. I don't know how to feel.
I told you the writing was on the wall, though. You remember
You did, you
when you
did, you
signed the
did.
contract? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When you sign a contract, you're playing. It's just a matter of time. But it's weird. It's just weird because Taysom Hill, to me, I don't look at him as a quarterback. I just don't.
Me neither.
I
Yep.
don't look at him as a quarterback, and I don't know why they're like forcing this. I guess this is the right season to go ahead and see what you got. This is the
Mhm.
right season to do it. But I don't think they're gonna win the game. I think it would be closer than people think, just based off of the fact that Amari is coming back from COVID. To me, I don't know that he's gonna play,
And their defense hasn't been stepping up the way they
and they
were early
haven't.
either.
Yeah. So
Michael Parsons has, though. I give him
yes,
that.
yes,
But Stephon
yes.
Diggs has had a lot of games where you start to wonder, is it just a numbers thing? Is it more so that you're getting a lot of interceptions, but you're blowing a lot of coverages? I believe a stat
Hmm.
that I saw this weekend that was crazy to me was that Stephon Diggs is actually ranked lower than he was his rookie season as far as player efficiency, which is kind of crazy.
Wait,
Kind of crazy to
Trayvon Diggs, right?
no, no, no. Yeah, Trayvon Diggs. Sorry, I
Yeah,
said
yeah,
Stephon. Yeah,
yeah,
sorry
yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
No, you good, you good.
Um,
But he's playing lower than his rookie year.
Yep. So even though the numbers are there as far as interceptions, coverage wise, he's not doing as well as he did his rookie season.
Yeah, and
And
they
that
picked him
wasn't
apart
a
last
bright
year.
spot either. Exactly.
Nah, they picked him apart, man. Like QBs loved seeing him over there.
It's double move central now, and you see it. I
Hmm.
feel like a lot of these offenses figured him out.
Yeah, yeah,
But I feel like this defense goes as far as Michael Parsons takes it.
yeah, yeah. And I CD Lamb is not playing, right? Still in the concussion protocol.
Kamara isn't playing though, and that's the biggest factor for me.
Oh, he's not again.
Mhm. Yep.
What is his issue? What is going on with him?
I'll get the specifics.
I mean, that helps me out because I got Mark Ingram on my fantasy team, but I mean, that's also a team that's pretty much not doing anything.
It's a knee injury. He's still listed as questionable.
So it's basically a
But
management
the
thing.
word, yeah, yeah, exactly. Especially with knees, that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. I don't expect them to win this game. I
Yeah, me
really
neither.
don't. I really don't. I do think it's very interesting because I've seen some God, what's his name? Um his name slipped my mind. Dan Graziano. He said I think yesterday that he believes that this is Russell Wilson's last year in Seattle, and conversation went into, well, New Orleans doesn't have everything figured out, and that was one of his preferred destinations to get traded to last year. Um, do you see that as a possible
I
move?
definitely do. I definitely do. I think he is a much better player than he has been playing.
Yeah,
As
yeah,
far
yeah,
as
yeah,
Russell Wilson,
yeah.
I was so surprised. Obviously they still had a chance to win the game there. I just want to count that in there. We were
Hmm.
almost guaranteed headed to OT,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
he
yeah.
threw that pick for the 2 point conversion. I was screaming. I was like, no, I had a chance to get a point. But literally, I feel like no matter where he goes, he's going to be great. He's one of the players that I think workload wise has been stuffed for the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And I think go into a situation like the Saints with Taysom Hill getting that kind of money, that would be awesome because that'll lighten some of the load because they're both going to be doing their thing running. So if they could find a nice way to mesh it all together, I would love that. I don't see too many other places that are better. Um, any other names stick out to you? I don't know. Maybe a team like the Colts try to go and get him. That'll be great.
That would
But
suck. You saw how
that would
much
suck. You
capital
think?
they. You saw how much capital the Eagle. I mean the Colts gave up to,
Oh,
to
that's
get
ridiculous.
him. I you basically
I couldn't believe
make
that.
that. Yeah, you
I
make
know
that
you
work.
were you
Oh, I
were
loved it.
loving
I was in
that. Yeah.
heaven. And I think he just has 67 more snaps that he needs to make to lock that pick in to be a first round pick for the Eagles. So thank
Makes you
you.
super happy. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Um, there's not a lot of teams that I think can make the trade. I think that's mainly the thing. Like you got to
Mhm.
make sure you get that contract,
Figured out.
figured out. So there's not a lot of teams that can actually do it, but the thing
I think
that
Miami would be great too. That's
Miami,
another name
Miami,
that just popped
Miami,
up.
yeah, Miami, yeah, for sure. Um, I know people like
I feel
like
like
like I
that's a
told you,
situation they could both win too. Like they load up
yeah,
the Seattle defense again. I don't know.
yeah, it's possible. That would actually wouldn't be a bad move, honestly. That would be very interesting. Because I think Miami is building something
Really good.
special. It's just it's not
It's growing
fast.
pains.
I
It's
think I
growing
think that I
pains.
think that's I think that's I think that's the problem. We're so used to these teams in general coming together real fast, and it's not an organic. People are not used to organic builds anymore. It's almost like fast food versus organic food, right? Like,
Yep.
you're not used to like seeing like food actually grow. So
Exactly.
the having to sit and wait for that process to take place for you to be able to just go out and get your food and cook it versus just, hey, let me just go to McDonald's or Chick-fil-A. um I think That would be very intriguing. To me, that would almost be more appealing than New Orleans from this standpoint. Michael Thomas, I don't know how much like time he's gonna still be in New Orleans, right? But let's say he comes back healthy next year with Kamara, right? What else you got there
Uh, there's a
on
couple of other receivers
offense?
that I like on there. On exactly. Give me 1 second. Put up the depth chart.
Because I think what's his name? Hartman, I think. Um
Deontay Harris is the one that I really like. They
Deontay
got
Harris. Yeah, yeah,
Marquez
yeah.
Callaway, Kenny Stills, the ghost of Kenny Stills,
Kenny Stills, I
and
cannot believe
Traquan
it.
Smith. Traquan Smith.
Yeah. Is that a better receiving core than what you have in Seattle?
No, it's not.
It's
I feel like
not.
they underperformed this season, so that's why it's easier to say that.
Yeah, yeah,
But
possibly.
especially because Michael Thomas hasn't played either, I think that also adds to it,
Hmm.
just how bad they've looked. I just want to mention this before I forget. Shout out to the Saints PR team.
Oh
Because
yeah.
every time, dude, every time they switch QBs, I fucking fall into it. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
LASIK Jameis was the first one. And then I don't know, they was talking about Simeon like he's picking up the scheme in a great
Bro.
way. I kept falling for it, man. I just I don't know. With coaches like that are historically good, I tend to like side with them. But now I'm starting to think I'm getting duped, bro. Like every single time I'm just rolling with it and
Yeah,
then it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
work out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that does suck. That does suck. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Of course, this will always be mentioned until he signs to a place. But Philly is a place that has the cap room for a move like that.
Mhm.
So I like that's also another team to keep an eye on. But I honestly to like now, if you spoke to me, if you asked me this a month ago, I'd have said make the move. Like, yeah, right now I don't know that really makes too much sense right now. um but who knows, but
Yeah.
Miami to me is probably the most intriguing.
Yep.
It
And
probably
they're
is.
in a couple of QB trade talks, which is hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, so we'll see.
So, with trying to avoid a tangent as best as possible,
Yes.
what team do you think right now is the best model for that organic build?
Ooh, right now Miami.
I like
Right
that.
now.
I think my Ravens got a case, man. I
Oh
think my
yeah, the
Ravens
Ravens
got a
do too.
case.
Ravens do too. Yeah, Ravens do
But
too.
I agree though. It's very few and far between to see teams that aren't relying on free agency in that way and just sort
Yeah,
of doing it the right way.
yeah,
But
because I mean, because with that kind of build you have to take into account, actually, me saying this is gonna make me say the Ravens, because you had to take into account the front office and how that comes together before you even talk about the roster. So
exactly.
yeah,
Miami's up
Baltimore,
there though.
Baltimore. Yeah,
Miami is up there
Miami's
too.
up there right now. They weren't up there like 2 years ago though.
Yeah, for sure. Nowhere near it. Nowhere
Nowhere
near it.
near. They were just oof.
I
Jesus,
think it
embarrassment.
started with the personnel, and now it's
Yeah,
starting as far
yeah.
as getting the right talent in with that personnel. But
Hmm.
time will tell. Time will tell.
Arizona
So
too.
next, yep. So just so I'm clear, you're picking the Cowboys, right?
Yeah,
Against the
yeah, yeah.
Saints.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All
Reluctantly,
right.
but yeah.
Cool. Next up, we got Colts at Texans. Um, I think this one's we don't gotta talk too much about this one, right? Tyrod Taylor's our boy and all, but
Yeah. Ah, I'm taking the Colts because there's no way in hell. There's no way in
yeah,
hell. There's no
the
way
way
in
they
hell.
they struggled last against the Jets, dude.
Yeah, yeah,
Can't
yeah,
have
yeah.
that. Can't have
Yeah.
that.
Not at all.
Yep. Next up, Vikings at Lions. Good little bounce back game for the Lions. So
Yeah.
I keep seeing, I meant to say the Vikings. I keep seeing this storyline, obviously with Dan Campbell, where they're
Yeah.
memeing him out. They're just showing him at the beginning of the season up to now, just the agony this man is going through. Do you think there's anything to the narrative that they're a team that has been underperforming in the key moments, and that's what makes them as bad as they are? I feel like every time I watch them, dude, they have the lead and they somehow lose in spectacular fashion.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that they're underperforming. I think honestly, you have great pieces, but you don't have like a great whole. You
Yeah.
just you have certain guys that play very well, but and those are the guys that kind of like keep you in that give you that lead in the beginning, but that's about it. There's nothing I have.
The
Excuse
weirdest
me.
part about it is they play like a team with no veterans, and they're mostly veterans. Like
Yeah,
I don't understand that at all.
it's like it looks like a team full of rookies.
Literally, literally, and they're not. They're the furthest thing from young, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know. And DeAndre Swift is gone for what 2-3 weeks or so, something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think like this is what you
Easy.
expect. This is what you expect from them, though.
Yeah, for
Honestly.
sure, for sure, for sure. But all right, I'm going with the Vikings. I think you are too, right?
Oh, wholeheartedly.
Yeah, no reason not to. And
No.
this would be the week the Lions literally slapped the Vikings, but Kirk Cousins, good
I
old
will
Kirk
I
Cousins.
will I will go down with the shit if that happens. But I'm taking
Yep.
the Vikings. Yeah.
Yeah, literally, I will never pick that. But
No.
let's go. This is another one that I felt like I was confident when I saw this on the schedule last week. And
Yeah.
after last week, I am not, dude. Giants at Dolphins. Why is this exciting? Like, why is this compelling to
Cause
me?
it's the battle of the worst.
And they look like they had a little defibrillator action going on. They're
Yeah.
coming back. They're doing some things right, you know.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think the biggest one is Saquon is back, and how healthy he is, we don't know, but he's back.
He's
So
back.
that's only good things for them.
Daniel Jones has a neck strain.
Yep.
So whatever that's worth to you. Miami's winning this one. And I don't know where they're playing, but
Yeah,
Miami's
they're
winning
in
this one.
Miami. They're in
You're in
Miami.
Miami?
That's what made the pick
They're
for me
winning this.
too. I was
Yeah.
close to picking the Giants after what they were able to do against your Eagles. Not to bring it up again, I was
Well,
surprised. I think defensively they really showed some strides.
see, that's the thing though. I think it's a combination. I think it's what they did, but it's what we did not do.
For sure.
Or what we actually did. What we did was play horrible.
Mhm.
So that's exactly why that happened. But yeah.
Tough
Yeah.
in New Jersey.
Uh,
Oh man,
trust me.
how could you?
I
How
know.
could you?
I know.
That was the one pick that I look back and I had no shame in being wrong, but it just made me feel absolutely vile. Just
Trust me. Uh, Looking at the
I can
Eagles
only
logo
imagine.
this week made me feel like that. Just based off of that. So yeah, I get it.
I don't see that helmet spinning anytime soon, brother.
Oh no. The rest of the season is locked down.
No, that's what I'm wondering. Even next season, like if games like this keep slipping away, I don't know. I think we're in some for some real heartbreak here, brother.
Oh, we'll see.
Next up, Bucks at Falcons. This one's easy, right?
Yeah. But I will say this though. Antonio Brown is going to be out for I think they said like 2 more weeks,
Yeah.
which is going to be interesting because I like who they. Well, I don't know who they play next week, but um, when he does not have Antonio Brown, the defense seems
Play the
to.
Bills.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's a big one.
Yeah, they're gonna need Antonio Brown for that one.
Yeah. They ain't gonna need him for this one.
They'll
But
need
they
him for
gonna
this one.
need him for that one.
They're gonna need him for that one. But whenever he's not out there, the defense just seems to play a little harder.
Mhm.
So you can make of that what you want.
What do
But
you
yeah,
think about their game against the Colts? I felt like it was kind of sloppy. Like I was honestly surprised that they came away with the win.
Tampa's game.
Yep.
I, I yes, it was
I was
sloppy.
eating it. Yeah,
It was
literally.
sloppy. I don't know. I don't know. And that's one of those games where you look at it like you have to add context to it, like figure out like what caused it. But I because I think the Colts were kind of like struggling before that. So yeah, I don't know. But they need Antonio Brown. They need if they're gonna win a championship, they need Antonio Brown.
Yeah, for sure. I
Yeah.
agree. But they ain't gonna need him this week.
No.
This is another easy one. I don't know. I'm not liking this week's schedule. I'm not gonna lie. Eagles at the Jets, keeping it real in New Jersey, 2 weeks in a row. I don't think any they didn't show any of the Eagles guys at the Teofimo fight, so I think we're well rested. I think we're ready to go. I
Yeah.
think you guys have to bounce back in this one, right?
Hey, look, if we don't bounce back in this one, the thoughts of because to me, honestly, like losing last week almost put me in that mind frame of like, let's just not go for a wild card. Just play it out, see how the rest of the season goes, and make a strategy off of that. But I mean, if you lose this one against the Jets, that's I think if I'm not mistaken, mathematically, that's pretty much
Dunzo. Yeah.
that's it. Yeah, so you pretty much have to win the rest of the season out, and I don't see that happening.
I do, honestly. And that's what shocked me about that L. Like, you guys have the perfect schedule to make it work here late,
Well,
which
see, the reason why I'm not saying they're not going to win the majority. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if we're playing Dallas. Dallas is like the hardest game we have left.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if they win that game or not. I gotta wait. I'm gonna wait till we get to that point to say definitively yes or no. But
for sure,
yeah, they should have won last week. They should have won every game leading up to that. So
yeah.
we'll see. I mean, combination of that and Dallas losing, like that's what I was banking on.
Exactly. Yeah. It was looking up. It was looking up. I'm telling you.
Yeah. But I think it's possible still. But who
sure.
knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I think it really helps too that you guys are at home for that game. We'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah.
But we're both going Eagles, right?
Oh yeah. Fly Eagles, fly.
I wanted to try to get the saddest hedge out of you, but not today.
Not today. Nah.
Cardinals at Bears. Like I said, man. That's how I feel.
This is definitely a horrible schedule this week. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm taking Chicago in this one wholeheartedly.
I love it.
No, I'm not taking it though. Arizona's
of course. Did you see that game-winning drive, bro? Did you see that? The clock management. Oh man, that game was so dumb. Like you said, I'm tired of the worst tradition in holiday sports. Oh. Don't show me the Lions lose another week, or else I will make sure I continue to not tune in.
I have not watched a Thanksgiving game in years.
I will admit, I was starved. I did throw the games on while I was sitting there eating my food, but all I gotta say, my bad. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I just haven't.
Yeah, I feel you. I was gonna say literally the fact that they're still making us endure this shit every year is ridiculous, and the fact that the Raiders versus the Cowboys was the most highest ranked game in the last how many years? 10 years, I think it was.
Yeah,
it's just so dumb. It was disgusting. Thankfully, it was a good game, so that helped. Yeah. As far as being high scoring, but the fact that is the pinnacle. Give us some good games next year, and then maybe I'll feel better. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, do better.
Because the eyes are on it clearly.
Yeah, you put the best teams either from the previous year or that year. Because I mean, well, you have to do previous year because you're making the schedule out months in advance. So do the hottest teams from the year prior and move forward. There's no need to keep putting the Bears and Lions on Thanksgiving where it's a clash of the losers. Like I don't want to see that.
Nobody does.
No, come on, man. I'm watching that.
And literally just terrible on both sides. The fact that the Bears come excited out of that one. Just sad stuff.
Yeah.
But we finally got a good game. We're freaking 7 games deep, and we finally got a good game. Chargers at Bengals. I'm really excited for this one. A rematch of one of the best games this season. Oh no, I'm bugging. That was the Browns game. Sorry. But either way, this is a good matchup, and I don't like the way the Chargers are trending right now. I'm gonna be honest.
Me either. And where are they playing? Are they playing in LA?
No, they're playing in Cincinnati.
Honestly, Cincy has something figured out.
I've been telling you. Logic's been telling us too.
Yeah, but ever since he came on here, it's been horrible. Yeah, honestly, I think I'm going to choose the Cincinnati Bengals in this one. I think I'm going to go with them.
Oh man, I'm pissed. I was hoping you get trapped here. I was hoping you'll take the bait. I'm going with the Bengals too. I've been high on them all season,
Yeah,
and they're one of the teams that haven't bit me for it, literally. So
yeah,
I'm going to
yeah,
keep riding with them, especially with the way the Chargers have been looking. I don't think
yeah.
they're going to be able to pull it together for this one.
Where has Asante Samuels gone?
That is a great question. That is a great question. I don't think he's injured. He's out there somewhere.
He's out there, but I haven't seen him.
Yep. Yep. Me neither.
It's
And
like the
if you did, it's
first,
not on a good play. It's on a
yeah,
bad play
it's like the first 3-4 games he was like
everywhere.
balling, and I don't know what happened to him. I hate that for him because I love that guy, but I don't know what happened.
Hmm.
Hopefully it's
Shocking
just
part has been the offense too, literally. So
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, yeah. So it's probably the offense contributing to the lack of production on defense. So yeah,
Yes, sir.
we'll see.
So here another squash match in LA. We got Jaguars versus the Rams. Simple and clean, right?
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know because you have Stafford just saying that he's been dealing with lingering issues from playing in Detroit. But
Those are gonna be there for a while.
that's gonna be forever. But he apparently he's got some elbow thing going on, and I think a back issue as well. So I don't know how he's looking, but they haven't been clicking on all cylinders aside from Stafford. They just haven't been clicking on all cylinders the last couple of weeks. Um, which gives me pause, but I'm still choosing them.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you only lost to the Packers and the Cardinals, you can't convince me that they're gonna
Yeah,
lose to the Jags. Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
yeah. But it's just weird. That aspect is weird. But
I agree. I think ever since they let Djax go, they just fell apart, man. They should have
bro,
found the role for him. I'm telling you.
just keep him on the roster. You didn't need to play him.
Yep. He would have been happy too. That's the shit.
Yeah,
He would have been happy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Come
who
on.
knows?
Odell isn't doing much there, even though he scored a touchdown. He's not, even though I think you noticed early on in that game, I don't know if you peeped, when he made his debut, they were really like they made it a point to go to him early and they were
Yeah.
like targeting him defensively. I was surprised the impact early, but now I feel like that's dissipated.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're talking about they're still trying to work him into the system.
Hmm.
But who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Time will tell. Next
Yeah.
up, this is a game that's hard for me to pick, and it shouldn't be. We got Washington at the Raiders. Obviously Raiders coming
Jesus.
off that good win against the Cowboys, right? I don't know which way to go with this one. Washington has been a team that's been biting me too. Every time I feel like Heineke's going
Yeah.
to do well, he doesn't. Every time I think they're going to lose, they come through. Do you feel like I feel like the Seahawks lost that game more than they won it. Do you think there's any real momentum for the Washington football team coming into this one?
I mean, you can't say no, but maybe it's just like a spirit of momentum that they feel type of thing. I don't know. That was just a weird game. Like
I
it's
agree.
granted that defensive line hasn't really done like significant work this season, but like I thought with losing Chase Young that was pretty much it for them.
Mhm.
And they've kept right on going. So to beat the Seahawks, who record wise is absolute garbage, but all teams are not their record, you know. So that's a quality win. That's a quality win.
For sure.
This is a hard game to choose. Jesus.
It's so weird though, because it's also a win that made me feel like the Seahawks record is deserved. Like I feel like that was the game that showed us, this is what we're to expect from this point
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was so weird. What do you
yeah.
make of real quick? I know I don't want to make this about Seattle for too long, but what do you make of DK's whole thing? I feel like ever since that whole shit with the OnlyFans girl happened, he got exposed and now he's just been literally a ghost out there, barely getting targets even.
I don't I don't know what that's about, bro. Because it's
Weird.
like it's a stark contrast from last year. Like
I agree.
he looked like one of the absolute best in the league, and now it's just like he's not there.
He's not even the best guy on that team.
Not on that
Yeah.
team. Yeah, yeah. So I
Tyler
don't
Lockett
know.
has been their wide receiver one literally all season, which is
Yeah,
so
yeah,
weird to think about.
yeah. If OnlyFans does that to you, Jesus, cancel your subscription.
Cancel your subscriptions right now, guys. But anyway, getting back on track. Um, I I really want to pick Washington here, but I think I can't. I think I have to go with the Raiders and just hope they hold it together another week.
Yeah. I'm I'm gonna choose them. I'm gonna choose the Raiders,
Mhm.
but
I'm not happy about it.
me either. I can very well much see this one going the other way. This one could, and Heineke could be the one. Heineke can be the guy that makes it it goes their way. So
For sure.
who knows, man?
All right, next up, this is a team where I think this is the most true statement you said all day, that every team is not their record. I think the Steelers are so much worse than their record says they are. And I can't wait for my Ravens to cook them this week in the Steel Curtain,
Yeah,
in Pittsburgh. I'm hyped for this one. Them terrible towers are going to be going, and they're going to look terrible. They're going to look so bad on offense. They looked horrible last week. Our defense is much better. So I'm looking forward to this one. I really, this is my moment. This is my moment to rub it in everyone's face. And I am also slightly, I'm gonna say it out loud. So I hope I don't break the curse.
yeah,
A
yeah,
part
yeah.
of my Chargers pick is a sadness hedge because
Okay.
I'm hoping that the Chargers win, even though I didn't pick them,
Yeah,
because man, if they do, we're up 2 games. And I
yeah,
don't want to get no DMs from Logic. I don't want none of these stupid Cincy fans trying to tell me that they're gonna be the team that makes it out of the North. No way, bro.
yeah,
No
yeah, yeah.
way. My Ravens are pulling away this week. And if we lose to the Steelers this week, um, after the way we played last week, hit the panic button. And I mean
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I look, Cincinnati, not Cincinnati, but Pittsburgh is the only team to not have pulled out a win against the Lions. You better win that game.
Mm-hmm.
You better win that
Somehow,
game, man.
somehow they're still above 500 though, which I find
That is weird.
crazy.
That is
They,
weird.
there has been a lot of times like that Bills game where they look way better than they are, and then the next week they come out and remind us who they really are. So I'm hoping
Yeah.
we keep on that same energy. You're
Yeah.
going with the Ravens too, right?
Oh, for sure. I can't rock with the Steelers this year, man.
Even at home, you can't rock with the
Nah,
Steelers. It's a sad
nah.
time.
It's horrible.
Not for me though. I'm loving every second of it. Especially when I didn't expect the season to go this way at all. It
Yeah.
feels so good just feeling like we're gonna run away with this one late. But
Yeah.
anyway, sorry, I had to gloat real quick. 49ers at Seahawks. 12th man ain't doing shit here, right?
Nah, nah. They might not even have 12th man in there.
There's gonna be more Niners
It's,
fans
it's just
traveling.
it's just gonna be 11 of them.
Oh man.
Yeah, 49ers. I'm choosing the Niners in this one. And that's weird to say that. I cannot rock with Seattle in terms of like predicting them to win this one. I I think they're gonna drop this one.
And the funniest part about it, if I remember correctly, both you and I picked Seattle the first time they played.
Yep.
And we got boned for it. We're not doing it this time. I'm going
Nope.
with the Niners too, man. Too easy, too
Yeah.
easy. This week is gonna be a holding on week. Like literally all our picks are
Yeah.
the same, bro.
Yeah. That's the first
um,
time that's ever happened. Huh?
literally.
Yeah.
Next up we got Broncos at Chiefs. This is a good one. This is a
That's a
real good
real good
one.
one. Yeah. At the Chiefs.
About time. These next two ones are the best ones in my opinion. Sunday night and then um Monday.
Monday. Ooh, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs. I think they've got that their life back.
Yo,
Uh,
I honestly hate that you just picked the Chiefs, bro. I thought this was my steal. I thought we're gonna ride the momentum. So you know what I have to do? I have to go with the Broncos in this one. I got to get one of these points somewhere. And the fact that all season I've been begging for the Chiefs to be good,
yeah.
I think this is the time where against the good defense, they could unravel a little bit. And defensively, although they had some little flashes in the pan, I don't know if it's sustainable just yet. Obviously, come playoff time, hope it's fully turned around for them.
Yeah.
But just the way the Broncos have been surging, I know that they're on the road in this one, but I'm gonna take them. I got to fish for these points, man.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs in this one, man.
Let's do it. All right. So our final game, our Monday night game. This has real playoff implications. Patriots at Bills. Whew, I'm excited for this one. Way more excited than I thought I'd be.
This one, if you had told me this game at the top of the year, I would have said Bills without hesitation.
For sure. Even a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, yeah. Um, it's very possible the Patriots could win this one, and that's weird to say that. That's weird,
Hmm.
just given the whole circumstance. But I'm gonna go with the Bills.
I love it. I
I'm gonna
love
go
it.
with the Bills.
You're going with the trap in this one.
They need this game.
Yep.
They need this game, and you're at home. You know, this is one of those, you cannot let this one go. You cannot let this one go at all. So let's see what they do. I'm gonna go with the Bills in this one.
Man, I made Mac Jones my rookie of the year pick. I think that there's a
I
real
think it's
chance.
possible.
I think there's a real chance if these last couple games play out the way they want it to, that he comes out being the rookie of the year. I've been really surprised by their offense, and I've been very happy to see their defense answer the call we thought they were going to come into this season. I think
Mm-hmm.
early on they spent all that money on the offense, and a lot of people were saying, "What about the defense? Like, are we expecting them to be good like they have been?" They sputtered out the gate, but now they've been really putting it together. My guy Matt Judon, I
Yeah.
still shout, give him shouts, even though he made this awful take talking about that mac and cheese is a terrible side dish for
Yo,
Thanksgiving. I
I
was
don't
like,
know who
dude,
served this man Kraft macaroni and cheese for Thanksgiving, but
the hot Cheeto one.
yeah. I don't know who he got food from, but that is a horrible take.
You
That's a
cannot you
horrible take.
cannot put your grandma out to bed like that. You can't
Yeah,
do that.
that's such a betrayal.
you
Such a
you
betrayal.
know you know that that was such a terrible take, and the funniest part about it is at the end he goes, and the best part about it is y'all all gonna be tired as hell from eating that mac and cheese, so I could beat y'all up after it too. I'm like, this is the most northeast shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, you moved to Boston and this is their energy now, bro. Like, you done turned on everything that I
Oh
thought you
god.
was. But I will say he has been delivering as far as he's one of the sack leaders. Some
Yes.
people, there's
Yes.
some rumblings that he could be a defensive player of the year. Um,
Yeah.
and I'm honestly surprised by that. So shout
Yeah.
out to him for doing a really good job. I think that's where this matchup really lies. I think I'll be surprised if the Bills defense steps up and really, like, the Patriots can't get anything going. Like, I think this is going to be a close game, probably in the 20s, high 20s, low 30s, where both of these teams are scoring big, and it really comes down to who gets that defensive stop. And
Yeah.
right now, I'm trusting the Patriots a little bit more to do that than I am the Bills, which is crazy to think.
Yeah. And I should be making the same prediction as you. I should be saying the Patriots, but I'm going to one last time. One
Believe in the
last time.
Bills. Yeah.
I'm going to believe in them. But I'm telling you right now, if they mess this excuse me, if they mess this one up, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I can trust again.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Just betrayal on all
Yeah.
fronts.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yes, sir. Well,
See.
like, just like that, another great week in the books, man.
Yes,
There's
sir.
some gems, some diamonds in the rough this week to check out, but the other ones, don't even look at them. Don't even you could stop paying attention on red zone when those come
Yeah, 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 yeah. Just watch the real games. This is a rough week. This
on.
is a rough week. I don't know what they were thinking when they made this schedule.
For sure. And the saddest part about it is there's some division games here that were like, there's no way you win this one, bro. Like, there's no
Yeah, yeah,
way.
yeah,
And those are the games you usually expect to be close. So it sucks,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it
We'll
is what
see.
it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All
All
right,
right.
man. Anything else before we close out?
Nah, I think that's it for me, man. I think that's it
All
for
right.
me.
I got a little side tangent for us here.
Okay.
Anyone that's willing to watch, the UFC is returning after a dark week. They got a couple cards coming up that are really good. This one I'm super excited for. We got Jose Aldo coming up against Rob
Yes.
Font representing Puerto Rico. One of my guys because of that. But Jose Aldo's my boy, man. Since day one, it hurts to
Yeah.
see him lose. So I hope that Jose Aldo's able to turn back the clock in this one. But matchup wise, I think it's just a nightmare, just with the striking of Font and the way he's surging in his career right now. But if you're gonna check out this fight card, make sure that you watch the co-main event between Brad Quake Riddell and my boy Rafael Fizzyev. He has one of the most impressive highlight reels out there. I really encourage you to look into him because I know this is somebody that not a lot of people know about.
Yeah.
He's the one guy, if you ever saw this clip, where somebody threw a head kick at him and he's literally weaves back like the Matrix, like completely gets out of the
Yes.
way of that head kick.
Yeah.
Just insane dexterity. He's one of my favorite fighters, striking wise. And he's coming up against somebody who literally, the storyline in this one is crazy. He was actually his Muay Thai coach, his kickboxing coach, where they trained up in Thailand. So
Wait,
the
he's
fact that they're,
fighting his coach?
yep, yep, his kickboxing coach. So there, he is no longer his coach, but when he was
Oh
there,
man.
he was his kickboxing coach for a time. And the fact that obviously there's pictures of them going to war in the gym. And the fact that we're getting this one in the cage is super exciting. Striker's delight. The co and the main in this one are going to be fireworks. So check it out, you
Oh
guys.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. That's the ESPN Plus.
Card, yep.
I'm definitely watching that one.
Yes, sir. Well, all
Yes,
right,
sir.
man. With that being said, if you want more MMA talk, you can check out my handles. I'm at Chris Negron underscore at Instagram and Negron MMA on Twitter. I'm going to be doing some interesting stuff this week. I'm hyped for it. I got another episode of the MMA archive coming up, as well as live tweeting this card. I'm super excited to also live tweet on Friday. There's also one championship event that's going to be taking place that I'm super excited for, specifically the atom weight title fight
Yes.
between two women that are beasts. Obviously, this is the end of a tournament. So Stamp Fairtex trying to defend her belt against Marin Fogat. I'm sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly, but big stuff in MMA this week. Check out my handles for that, and don't forget the brand. You can check us out at OTS Media on YouTube and OTS Media Co. everywhere else.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you can follow me, Derrick underscore OTS, DERRICK. And like Chris said, check out the brand, check it out OTS, all social media platforms. Go to otsmediaco.com. Look, see what we have there. Art, we have a couple articles on there. You check out other shows. Please, 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 if you're watching this, please give rate and review us. Let us know what you think, how we're doing, and give us some feedback so we can continue to evolve. As you see, we've come back this season and have been more consistent, the most consistent we've ever been, and we've just added another layer to this thing. So please just help us build it the right way, and give us your feedback and let us know what you think. But we will catch you guys. Well, sorry, thank you for watching and or listening, and we will catch y'all next week. See you later.
Sir, peace.